What's going on? Welcome back. Stephen J, my partner Ghost, ready to talk about the next games on the other field. We're going to get into the first game, Rebels versus Rep City. Rebels make their debut in the league. For a long time, this team was looking to jump back to get into the UFL league in the Bronx. And they finally got all the guys to come together. They have a nice team. I think the best part about the team is that they got their coach. Hatchet is back with the team. I love the way Hatchet coaches. I played with this team a few years back. My last year of playing, I won a championship with this team. And they got a great group of guys that come together. They bring back the SYS guys who originally went in their own direction, which is guys like Mills, Machine, Zeke, come back to the Rebels team. And when this team is all together, they have a lot of great players. And these guys are players that can really make big plays. I think the key comes down to is Manny. Manny's last game in UFL looked like a deer in headlights, threw 4 picks for the Browns, but he actually won that game. Now that he's back with his group of guys, this team should be good, and we're excited to see what they're going to do in the Eastern Conference.
And if you're looking at Rep City, you're looking at a team that was the best Eastern team in the regular season.
Record-wise,
they were a team that lost one tough game to Riot Squad, and then they were off to the races ever since then. They finished the season strong. They were a team that a lot of people didn't look at and see a first-place team, but in the season they played like a first-place team.
Lights out.
They had guys that were clicking together on offense and defense. They had a quarterback like Izzy that was performing really well. I think that he was snubbed in the All-Star game.
I think he got snubbed.
Because he had a great season for this team, but that just shows how great the other quarterbacks did that made it into the All-Star game, that they were able to pass Izzy to make it to the All-Star game. Great season all around. Unfortunate end to the way they ended in the playoffs. By one play, kept them out of the conference finals. One play kept them out of that game. One play. So this team is looking to redeem themselves in a way that they lost last year, come back even stronger, and get further than what they went last year, because I'm sure in their hearts they know that they deserve to go further than they did last year.
Well, we're going to jump right into the game, and we're going to see what goes on. Manny's going to get the ball first. He's going to throw a short pass to Didi on the sideline to pick up a few yards. After getting the first down, Manny's going to throw to Mills, cutting in the gap for a nice gain. Second down, Manny throws the machine in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, third and goal, Manny throws short to Jay on the sideline, who runs it in for the touchdown. If you look here, Notorious is waiting to rush in, leaving Jay wide open. Mo gets a 2-point conversion, 8-0, Rebels right away scoring.
And right there you see an early mistake by Notorious playing linebacker. He's looking to back up the ball giver and rushing in against Manny, and then he leaves the receiver that he's supposed to be guarding wide open. I don't think that you need an extra rusher for Manny, because Manny's not a runner quarterback. So even if you have a blocker there, it doesn't matter. You got to guard these guys that's running in those slots, because if not, they're going to find their way to get open. That's exactly what happened. Manny's not going to miss that.
Second down, Beasky's going to get the start. Hood is not here. Izzy's not throwing for Rep City. So Beasky is the quarterback here. We was told Hood to be the quarterback. They're missing a few guys that's not playing right now. The weather, the first game, so we know that. But Beasky's going to get the start. He's going to throw a nice pass to Vic, wide open in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first down. If you look here, the safety's playing way too deep. Got to come up. Vic is he's a last year runner-up in the MVP last year. Beasky is going to throw to, I think, Hebe, hopefully that's the right name, on the sideline, who gets past Jay, runs it in for the touchdown. Vic is going to get the 2-point conversion, 8-8. Rep City scores right back.
And what do you know? A person that fills in for quarterback and is doing a decent job. Some great throws that he made in this drive. Very accurate. Knows how to find guys in the pocket, and as long as he's staying in the pocket, this is a great drive to start the game. You would think that somebody filling in for the quarterback is going to struggle. He doesn't show that in this first drive.
And I think Vic, the runner-up MVP, was the one who made a big play on that drive. Rebels don't know who he is because they wasn't here last year, and they got to pay attention because that guy made noise last year. Manny gets the ball back. On 4 rush, he's sacked by Notorious here. Second down, Manny throws short to Machine, who runs for a nice gain, picking up the first down. After a short pass to Mills, Manny's blitzed by Steve-O, throws to Diddy in the middle of the back of the end zone for the touchdown. The question was he out of bounds? What do you think?
And this one is a very close play. You see Rep City guys arguing the play right here, saying that he stepped out. But if you look here, it's just a hard angle because I'm behind the quarterback. Right. But it looks like the front of his feet hit the floor before the back of his feet. So even if you see the full footprint on the floor, that doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't a sequence of when the feet touched the ground. One of the refs is right there on the sideline. He's looking at it. He makes a call that that's a touchdown, so it's a touchdown.
14-8. Vic leaves Diddy open in the end zone if you look here, which is why they score. But I think the first two drives is carried by Machine. Machine's blocking and releasing, and he's a guy that was Mills' main target on SYS. So now you put him with Manny, a guy who can block and also release, and he is very dangerous. And you can see he's getting the chains moving. He's moving the ball, helping Manny out, and Manny's comfortable in the pocket, and he's able to find Diddy for the touchdown. Next drive, Beaskey on third down, on 4 rush. Beaskey's going to throw deep to a wide open. He be on the sideline for a big game, picking up the first down. If you look here, both safeties are following the same receiver, and you can't do that. This guy, Hebe, hopefully we're saying his name right, making great plays, but Beaskey's finding these receivers in the field. And
he's very accurate with his passes. And right here, he sees a mistake in the defense and exploits it right away, and is right on target to find Hebe. Listen, I don't know what, I hope his name is Hebe, but we're going to be saying his name a lot more if he's going to keep performing like this.
Beaskey on 4 rush with blocking from B-Dot, runs for a decent game. Second down, second and goal. Beaskey finds Sell on the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Vic gets the extra point. 15-14. Rep City takes the lead.
And now we have a game on our hands.
Yes, sir.
You would think, like I just said before, that Rep City will be the one struggling because they don't have their quarterback. But Beaskey is taking the helm, and he's looking like he's been quarterbacking for this team this whole time. Because he's finding his guys. He's staying in the pocket, being comfortable. Now you have other guys contributing. You have B-Dot with the blocking.
Great blocking.
Keeping him in the pocket and keeping him accurate. This is another good drive by Beaskey, and I think that Rebels have to take this team seriously right now.
First down, Manny throws to Mo Cut in the middle, who runs for a decent game. B-Dot can't guard Mo. We know he can't guard Mo. Mo makes him pay for it. Rebels get the first down. Second down, Manny is blitzed by B-Dot. Throws deep to the receiver in the middle, but is picked off by Meach, giving the ball back to Rep City. And these are picks Manny can't throw. Manny, I know the blitz came. Sometimes you just got to take a sack. Don't try to force a play. The weather's bad. He makes a mistake here, Meach with the big pick.
And one thing I could say is I'm not going to say that Manny's a person who's always perfect when he's under pressure. This pressure was coming in on the blitz. It looks like he didn't read it right, and he made a desperate throw that ends up being an interception. This is not something you want to see moving forward in the game.
First down, Beaskey on 4 rush, rolls right and throws to Sell on the sideline, incomplete pass. On 4 rush, he rolls left, throws to Meach in the middle, high and incomplete. Third down, he's going to get blitzed by Jay. Throws a deep pass to Steve on the middle, picked off by Zeke, giving the ball back to the Rebels. And that is a bad play, bad drive by Rep City. You can't get the ball and throw it back downfield and give the pick right back. Zeke playing great at free safety. I love this guy at free safety. If he learns to talk more, he'll be a dominant safety. He will put guys in better positions to make plays. But as far as athleticism and being a safety, he's the touch football version of Ed Reed, who he said is one of his favorite players, and he shows us why here.
And that's a good emulation right there. The thing about Rep City is you notice a difference in their drive this time. What happened this time that made a difference? Beaskey was under pressure. He was rolling out. He was not sitting in the pocket, and that's why his passes were less accurate in this way around, and that is why he threw a pick in this drive here.
Manny with 2 short passes to Machine for a decent gain. Third down, Manny's blitzed by B-Dot. Rolls right, throws deep to Mo in the end zone. It's going to be tipped by Mo, picked off by Meach, taking us into the half. 15-14, Rep City with the lead. If I am the Rebels, first time in the league, I'm not panicking. Manny can't throw these picks. You know, he went to Mo there. It was tipped by Mo, which means the pass wasn't really on target. Meach gets the pick. Can't make that mistake. The previous time, he went downfield and got picked off by the same player. That means Meach knows where the ball is going. He's reading Manny's eyes. Manny got to get better. You got to find a way to spread the ball a little more, get it around the field. This is a huge field, but that doesn't mean you can take home runs. Meach is a former all-star. He will make you pay, and he does here.
And two things I'm going to say about Rep City that they need to fix and going into the second half. They need to make sure that they're not sending extra guys to rush Manny, because Manny is not a mobile quarterback. You do not need that extra help going against Manny. Guard the guys that's coming out in the slots that's going to take those safety valve passes, because Manny's going to go to them. He's going to find them open if you sit there and wait for the rush. And on the offensive end, you got to make sure that Beaskey is protected. We've seen so far that he's not going to be an accurate quarterback when he's under pressure.
Correct.
When he's being rushed, when he's rolling out, he doesn't make the best decision. He doesn't make the best passes, and they have to protect him more, keep him in the pocket, keep him confident, and that's where he's going to be able to play the way that he was playing before that turnover.
After getting the first down, Beaskey on 4 rush is sacked by Moya. If you look here, nobody short, everybody spread it out. Don't give him no target. Second down, Beaskey on 4 rush. Throws it up. It's almost caught by Steve-O, but broken up by Mo. Rep City's forced to punt. This is why they went out and got Mo. Mo's a guy who can dominate both sides of the ball. Great pickup. He makes a great play here where to force Rep City to punt. Great play by Mo.
And because he was there, he made the contact. I think that's what forced the ball out of the receiver's hands. That's the way to play defense and be there just in time. Very fast. He has some catch-up speed. Way to make a play there.
Manny with 3 passes for a nice gain to get them the first down. Manny's then blitzed by Steve-O, but Machine picks up the blitz. Great play by Machine. Manny throws deep to Mo, wide open in the middle for a big gain. And this is what I like about Machine. That's why they call him Machine. If Machine can stay healthy, he can block and go out. Here, he shows the muscle. He's not a huge guy, but he's a strong guy. Picks up the blitz here, and Manny's able to be given time to go downfield to Mo. Once again, that's why they got Mo. He's able to stretch the field. Second down, Manny throws to Ito in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, the corner let him go. Ito may be hurt on this play. Mo gets a 2-point conversion, 22-15. Rebels take the lead.
Well, I'm sure Ito would be okay.
Yeah, he's going to come back,
yes.
but he got hurt on the play.
Yes, I think on the fall. But the thing about it is here, I think that play with Machine is what changed the offense for the better.
Correct.
That play, he's pretty much saved that play because Steve-O was coming in full speed. He was able to come at the last second and make that block and give Manny the extra time he needed to make that pass. And then here, you see the cornerback leave Ito wide open. As he's there, he doesn't shift over him. He doesn't call and say that he's cutting towards the end zone. He doesn't say anything and lets him go by. Nobody picks up Ito and left him wide open in the end zone. That is bad defense.
And he goes upstairs to get that ball.
Yes, he goes up and gets it.
He knows he's going to land hard. It's snowing, but he holds on to that football. Great play.
And they needed it, and that's why they were able to get those points.
Second down, Beaskey's blitzed and sacked by Speedy. Next play, Beaskey on 4 rush, throws to Steve-O, cutting in the middle for a decent game, picking up the first down. Beaskey on second down, gets the ball off to Steve-O on the sideline for a decent game. Third down, Beaskey throws deep to Vic on the sideline, overthrown, incomplete. Last down, Beaskey with a screen to Steve-O, but is stopped short at the 10-yard line. Turnover on downs. Now it's not looking good. They was able to score several times in the first half. Now the Rebels stopped them twice in a row. If you look here, they're arguing, they're getting frustrated. I think Speedy with a great sack early to start the drive off, even though Beaskey got a first down. After that, the Rebels showed that they're going to start attacking them, and that's what they did, forcing them to turn over the ball. And
the pressure is the key. That's what happened, and that's what changed. That's what changed Rep City's offense and made them slow down a bit.
Correct.
Because again, Beaskey showed that he was very confident. When he's staying in a pocket, he's very accurate. But when he's rolling out, when he's under pressure, when he's looking for the defense rushing in, he's not able to make the best decisions or the best throws. And I think that was all the difference in the world. And Rebels figured that out. Rep City has to find a way to protect Beaskey.
Manny's going to get the ball with 2 passes for a decent game. 4th and long, Manny throws to Mills in the middle. High and almost picked off by Meach, turnover on downs. That can't happen to you. You can't get the ball back after your defense made a stop and not able to score. Manny, I mean, he's playing well. You know what I mean? He scored the last possession, but you can't have 2 passes for a decent gain and then have a 4th and long. If you have a 4th and long, what you might as well do? Punt.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He throws it downfield, almost picked off by Meach again, but it's going to be a turnover, giving the ball back to Rep City. Second down, Beaskey with blocker from B-Dot, throws deep to a wide open Vic in the end zone for the touchdown. 22-21. They take a lead, and now we're gonna have to see what they do in the extra point. They come back into the game. Yeah. Rebels are still up But that's a great drive by Beasley.
And it seems like today is a day that blockers are stepping up and trying their best to protect their quarterback. Here we have B-Dot again making a good block to protect Beasley. And like I said before, when he's protected, he makes the accurate throws. He's able to find Vic open in the end zone. That is a great way to score on your offense. Everybody got to contribute, from the blocker to the quarterback to the receivers, and looks like that's what they're doing right now.
And Zeke let Vic go. If you see, Vic is wide open. Zeke can't do that. He is the free safety. That is my issue with Zeke. I coached him. He is one of the most athletic free safeties in the game, but sometimes he doesn't read the field well. This is your guy. You are the deepest man on the field. You got to be able to adjust, and you got to play center field. He lets Vic go, and Vic is an MVP candidate last year. You can't make this mistake. Rep City's going to try to go for the extra point here, not get it. 22-21, giving the ball back to the Rebels. Second down on 4 rush. Manny throws deep to Pranks in the middle. Catch for a big game, picking up the first down. That's going to end the game. Rebels going to run the clock out. Ending the game 22-21. Rebels come away with the win.
And I think getting so close and not being able to tie the game, that hurt, and I think that's what gave away the game. But a lot of things for Rep City I'm talking about.
Right.
What they needed to do was they needed to protect their quarterback early. A lot of times they would throw an interception or turn over the ball because they were not protecting Beasley. He would have to roll out, and you see his weakness already. That when he's rolling out, he's under pressure. He's not able to make those accurate throws. And because of that, that's what stagnated the offense more going towards the end of the game. And hopefully they can learn from this. If he has to fill in again as quarterback, this is something that they have to fix so that he doesn't go through this again. But I'm not going to kill him because he performed very well for a person standing as quarterback. Unfortunately, they lose by 1.
Rebels defense, second half, played a little better. Gave up 1 score after giving up 2 in the beginning of the game. They were missing a few players, but Rep City was missing practically everybody, and they lost this game by 1 point. At the end of the game, Rebels almost let Rep City back in the game because Diddy gets ejected for cursing. Zeke gets ejected for cursing. You can't do that. It's your first game, so we're going to give them a pass, but you cannot make these mistakes. You will get killed with it. You got to find out who's who on your team. Safety's got to talk. They had a lot of guys out. Breezy wasn't here. That's a huge player. Red wasn't here. That's a huge player. I'm told Sky High's playing with this team. That's a huge player. That's a few defensive players, offensive players. So this team is going to be okay, but it all starts with Manny. Can't throw 2 interceptions to the same guy. You got to be able to limit your turnovers in this league because it's hard to score. And their defense cannot give up 21 points to a third-string quarterback.
Yeah.
That's pathetic. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. Whatever word you want to give me, because anything terrible, terrible, you can give it to me, and that would not even give you a fraction of how bad this defense was. They got great talent, but talent, if just a word, were not shown on the field. So this team is here to win a championship. That's all they're here to do. Not get to the second round, not make it to the Final Four. And if you make these mistakes against Rep City when Rep City's full staff, if you make these mistakes against IOD, if you make these mistakes against 99, you're going home early.
Yeah. And the thing is, they've traveled too far to the Bronx in order to lose in that way. So they got to fix those problems.
So they dodge a bullet. They get a win. We're going to see what happens at the rest of the season. Yeah. We're going to wrap this one up. Rebels with the win over Rep City, 22-21. We're going to be right back. Next game up, IOD Generals. Generals played decent last year. They bumped the Browns in the first round. And then I believe they lost to Rep City. Spaz, limited his turnovers, had a good season last year. Made the All-Star team. Cecil goes back to the Generals. I like that move. Tone is playing with the Generals again. That's a good move. So that is great on paper. It's time for them to show that they're able to compete with the elite teams. IOD, a team in the UFL that made the Final Four 3 years in a row. Lost to the Browns twice. Lost to YMM once. And then last year lost to 99 Problems in the second round.
Yeah.
It's time for the team to get over the hump. Slasher, one of the top quarterbacks last year, won Offensive Player of the Year. I believe he led the league in touchdowns, but he's not going to start. The bad man Adi goes back to quarterback. Last time he took the quarterback in UFL, he won Quarterback of the Year.
Yeah.
This team goes out and they make three huge pickups. They pick up an MVP in Lou.
Yeah.
First time in 4 years that an MVP winner left the team to go to another team, which was Bishop, was the first one that did it. Left Reckless to go to Carver, won a championship. So Lou's trying to do the same thing. But they make two other pickups. They pick up Akon, and they pick up Swiss.
Yeah.
This team is putting all their chips in.
Listen, they want to win. And the thing about it is they've been right at the door. They've been knocking at the door for how many years now? So it's time for them to get through that door because they feel like they're ready. They've been ready. And it came up to a few plays here and there in each game that kept them out of the championship.
Right.
They feel that they're ready. This is the time. This is the way. This is what they deserve to win. And that's why they're trying to make these pickups to make it happen.
Well, we're going to jump right into the game. Second down, Adi on 4 rush scrambles with blocking from Slasher. Adi throws to Slasher for a short gain. Third down, Adi throws to Ace wide open in the middle for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Adi on second down finds Brandon in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Buck gets the extra point, 7-0. IOD starts it off right away.
And right away, that was a nice drive.
Correct.
Throwing some short throws, finding the open gaps. That pass to Ace, I think, was one of the biggest plays of the drive there. They left him wide open. That's something that you don't do because Ace is probably one of their best offensive players. You got to watch where he's at. Adi's able to find him wide open, and they were able to score after that.
Cecil's going to get the start for the Generals. Spaz will not throw because their team is in the Final Four on Sunday. You know what I mean? So he did not throw Saturday, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So Cecil gets the start. Cecil on a 4 rush falls and gets sacked by Ace. Third down on 4 rush. Ace misses the sack. Cecil runs for a decent gain, picking up the first down. Cecil throws short to Spaz for a few yards. Third down, Cecil's blitzed by Swiss, who blocks a pass by Cecil. Incomplete. General's going to have to punt. IOD gets the ball back. Third down after a short pass to Brandon. Ali on third down throws to Buck in the gap. That's going to be dropped. IOD is going to have to punt. First of all, Generals punt. I understand that. Cecil's not a quarterback. Doing his best, they give the ball back. Now, if you're IOD, you can't give the ball right back. Generals are understaffed. You got to go and do the same thing you did the first drive and score. Buck with a huge drop. He has to be able to catch this ball. He does it, they're going to have to punt. IOD is going to punt, giving Generals a ball. IOD wasn't even able to pick up the first down on this drive. So Generals get the ball on the 4 and out. On 4 rush, Cecil throws to one in the gap for a decent game. Third down, Cecil's blitzed by Slasher. Throws to Matt in the middle, high and incomplete. 4th and long, Cecil throws the tone in the corner of the end zone, picked off by Brandon, giving it back to IOD. Cecil's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But that's a great pickup by Brandon.
Brandon is a player that a lot of people don't necessarily notice how talented he is.
Right.
On both sides, he's a great defender, very physical. He's able to break at the ball. So this is somebody you got to watch, especially on defense. I like him on offense,
but I like him more as a defender. Yes, I like his defense better than his offense.
He's a very dynamic defender that goes under the radar. So you got to watch out for him if you're a quarterback because he's one person that makes a lot of plays on defense.
Well, he must have heard of us talking about him, about his offense, because on first down, Ali throws to Brandon, open in the middle, who's going to run all the way down the sideline for the touchdown. Slash is going to get the extra point, 14-0. The question is, was this a block in the back?
And right here, this is what we're talking about is Lou, as Brandon is running, Cecil's going to make the tag, and it looks like Lou reaches out to make a block here in the back. It's hard in this angle because we don't know if he actually made contact that force, because Cecil did fall as a result of Lou being there, but we don't know if it was the contact that made him fall. So I'm guessing that's why the ref didn't throw the flag. It's hard to see, especially on our angle. The refs had the better angle, and if they didn't call it, that means that they didn't see anything wrong, and Brandon's able to run into the end to the touchdown. 14-0
IOD. Next drive, Cecil gets the ball. He's going to get blitzed by Ace, throw the ball in the gap for a decent gain. Second down, Cecil on 4 rush, runs for a decent gain. Third down on 4 rush, he throws one in the middle, that's going to be dropped. Last down on 4 rush, the pass is blocked by Swiss, turnover on downs. This is why they got Swiss. I like Swiss on this team. He doesn't really have to lead, Swiss is the ultimate leader in touch football. We all know what he does with the youth. But now he gets to come on the team and not really have to lead. We saw a lot of times during the game, he kind of took ownership to be the leader, but he just wants to play ball and be a role player. And when he's just focusing on that, he makes plays like this. He's not a ball dominant player. He does not need the ball to be dominant. He can make plays all over the field, and this is a great play by him to turn over the ball. First down, Adi's blitzed by Los and throws to Lou on the sideline. Lou's not looking, almost picked up by Cecil. Adi was livid. You're going to hear him yelling at him. And like I said, this is not Riot Squad. He has to run his routes because if not, he's going to get destroyed by his teammates. Second down on 4 rush, Adi sacked by Malo. Malo's an all-star, former all-star. The guy can make plays, takes his sack serious, gets one here. Last play before half, Adi throws it up incomplete, taking us into the half, 14-0. If I'm IOD, I'm up 14-0. That's great. What I like even more that the guys I picked up are making plays. Lou sort of made a block. You know what I mean? He may not have made the block. Cecil may have slipped on his own, but he attempted to make the block. He wasn't crying for the football. He's doing whatever he needs to do to help his team. And you see Swiss with the nice knockdown pass on 4th down to make them turn over. I like the fact that the 2 guys that I picked up in the offseason are making plays to help me get the lead. And Adi looks like Adi. Adi looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He was able to score 2 out of the 4 times he had the ball. And I'm happy. I want to put up a little more points, but we'll take it if we're IOD.
And right now, you can't expect too much from Cecil playing with the Generals as quarterback right now, as the interim quarterback. He's trying his best. Nothing is necessarily working out right now, but this is where you try to, get in sequence with your offense. Try to do more running plays. We know that Shah's an effective running back.
Correct.
Hand him the ball more. Keep the ball on the ground. Have the defense step up to respect the run, and maybe then it'll make it easier for you to get passes over the top.
I like that.
So these are things that you got to decide to do on offense because right now you're struggling. I'm not going to kill the defense too much, but offense got to put up points.
Cecil on 4 gets the ball back. On 1st down, it throws deep to Tone with a defender there. Hits him in the head, incomplete. 2nd down, Cecil throws deep to Tone, wide open on the sideline. Big game, picking up the 1st down. This is why I like Tone. He's an underrated player. It was rumors he was going to play with Super Friends. They end up picking up Joel. But I like this play by Tone making plays here. Cecil with a pass to Prodigy for a decent game. 3rd down, Cecil's blitzed by Swiss. Throws deep to Shah. It's going to be overthrown. That's going to take us to last down. Cecil throws a spaz who stops short of the end zone. Turnover on downs, giving it back to IOD.
And he's trying his best, but it's not working out. That play with Tone was a big play, after the one that hit his head. But, he makes up for it, but it's still not enough to get into the end zone. They got to find some way to move the ball a little bit better. I think that they need to make more running plays to have the defense step up more. If they don't do that, there's no real way that you're going to get IOD to slip up on any of their defensive plays. 2nd down,
Adi throws a buck cutting across the field for a decent game. 3rd down, with blocking from Slasher, Adi throws to Brandon, who pitches it to Slasher for a decent game, picking up the 1st down. They do that. This team does that better than anybody in football. Adi on 4 rush, throws deep to Brandon. It's going to be overthrown, picked up by Trey, giving the ball back to the Generals, and Adi overthrew that ball. He stepped over the line. That penalty is going to be declined, but that's a good play by Trey. Trey has to step up. I've always liked this kid at safety as a leader, never made an all-star team. Has to be more consistent, has to make these plays, and Adi cannot miss that throw. I don't care if it's weather, I don't care if it's footing. He does not make these mistakes, and he does here. 2nd down, Cecil on 4 rush, throws the shot on the sideline for a decent game. The question was Cecil sacked here? What do you think?
And right here, I think that it's very close. Again, the angles kind of make it hard. A lot of times the refs are not going to see what's going on,
especially with the snow.
With all that snow out there, the visibility is crazy out there. So maybe the ref missed one here, but it doesn't matter. They're still able to take advantage of this play. 3rd down,
Cecil gets blitzed, throws a quick screen to Spaz, picking up the 1st down. Cecil throws a quick pass to Tone, who pitches the shot for a decent game. 2nd down, Cecil throws a Tone in the middle. That pass is going to be dropped. 3rd down, Cecil throws deep to Julio, who has a step on the defender, but that's going to be incomplete. Last down, Cecil tosses up, incomplete. Turnover on down. They can't move the ball. Cecil's not a quarterback. He's doing the best he can. but he's not able to really capitalize on plays. ILD would have never stopped.
And what can you do if you're the Generals? Obviously, Cecil's trying to do his best, but it's not working. So I'm not going to say that you chalk it up and say, listen, it's over. But at the end of the day, right now, nothing is working. And there's nothing else you can say. The fact that he's not a quarterback just says a lot of what's happening to them in this game is happening.
Adi gets the ball back. He's going to throw the Lou in the gap for a nice catch. Third down, Adi gets blitzed by Prodigy, throws to Brandon on the sideline for a decent gain. After getting the first down, Adi throws deep to Buck. It's almost picked off by Trey. Third down, Adi's blitzed by Lowe's, throws deep to Swiss, but nobody's there. Incomplete, turnover on downs. Can't do that if you're Adi. You're a former All-Star, quarterback of the year. These guys have to be in position to make the plays. That bomb to Swiss, these guys haven't really played together that much, so he's going to miss that throw. The one he throws to Buck is almost picked off by Trey. So I don't think he looked great on this drive. Has to be a little more consistent, especially against this defense, who is not really known for having a shutdown defense. They have the reigning defensive player of the year shot, but he's not really doing anything this game. You got to be able to put up points. They don't. Second down, Cecil gets blitzed by Swiss, throws deep to Trey. That's going to be incomplete. Third down, Cecil throws a pass to a shot for a short yardage. Last down, Cecil throws a tone on the sideline. He's not looking, incomplete, turnover on downs. And if I know Cecil's not my starting quarterback, I got to give him some help. And these guys on offense are not. It looks like he's by himself, turnover on downs.
And right now, even though Cecil's not their quarterback, they're not on the same page. Guys are not looking off on their routes. They're dropping passes. Everything that you do not need for a struggling quarterback is happening in this game.
Well, pretty much Adi has a few short passes to Buck for a decent gain. Then on third down, he's going to find in the corner end zone for the touchdown. End of the game, 20-0. ILD comes away with the win. If I'm ILD, I'll take the win. Lou had a catch. Swiss made some plays. The guys I picked up did what they had to do. Akon didn't really do much, but they didn't really need him to do much. So if I'm out there, I'll take it. I think Adi made a few mistakes that I was surprised about, but he also looked good on a lot of passes. He's still the bad man, and once he gets some momentum going, he's going to do a lot better, especially this weather wasn't good. And as you heard, Defensive Player of the Year did nothing. He didn't pick nothing off, didn't do anything, so they kind of neutralized Shaw's ability to roam the field and cheat, and that's great plays by ILD.
One thing I got to say with the Generals, this is, the first game of the year. They're finally coming back to play together in the league, and they don't have a quarterback, but one thing I think that they need to work on is their defense. Their defense has to be a little bit more consistent. Adi was not looking his best out there, so they needed to capitalize a little bit more. I think that in this game, Adi was able to have a couple of scores a little bit too easy, and that is why they need to fix the mistakes that they made. Probably look at film. I don't know. Look at the mistakes that they made on film. Hopefully they can fix that, because later on, going further in the season, it's going to get that much harder. But I think that they have time to fix what they mistake. I'm
gonna piggyback off of that real quick. I like Spaz and throw.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna kill them.
So that's why it's not really that big of a deal.
But I need Shaw to make plays. He's a reigning Defensive Player of the Year. He needs to lock up on whoever ILD likes to throw to and shut them down or make some plays. They need him to step up. Shaw has to be the player that other guys want to play with. And until he plays consistently and he becomes more of a leader, he's not able to draw guys to this team. So we need him to do that. Again, we're not going to kill him. Trey played decent. I like the fact that he got one pick, almost had another one. And Spaz didn't throw. Different game if Spaz throws. So we're going to have to see what happens with the rest of the season. ILD is going to come with the win over Generals, 20-0. We're going to be right back. Real Tough Talk. Next game up, the UFL defending champs, Super Friends. Shouts to them. Congratulations to them. This is their first title defense. But they playing Ramsey and the Shockers. You saw what Ramsey did with Riot Squad last year.
Yeah.
Riot Squad, a team that's always known for what? Defense. He gave them an offense last year. Made the All-Star team, was up there for Quarterback of the Year, which Chuck won. But this guy looked great last year, and now we get to see him with a different supporting cast now. A little more weapons.
And I think that that's exciting to see. Right now, Super Friends don't have their dynamic quarterback in Dion in this game, but they have somebody that's filling in. That's a pretty decent quarterback in his own right. Creep.
I like him.
You know, so he's filling in. But the point is, they still have some of their playmakers. They have Kenny still there. They have
B-Roy.
They have Kenny. They still have B-Roy. They have a lot of their stars still there.
Few of the guys won't be here today, but in general,
they still have a competent team that still can beat you on the field. So that's something that they have to. That I think Shockers have to pay attention to. But I think this can be a good game either way.
First down, Ramsey's gonna throw deep to Welch, who falls, but the pass still lands in his chest, but it's dropped. Second down, let's just talk about the play.
Yeah.
Really quick. Ramsey threw a bomb to Welch. Welch falls, but the ball hits him in his chest, and he drops it.
Yeah.
That is the accuracy of Ramsey going downfield.
Yeah.
To me, Ramsey is the touch football Brett Favre with speed.
Yeah.
He can make any throw. He attempts to make any throw, which gets him in trouble.
Yeah.
But this is accuracy right there. For the guy to fall and be right there.
Yeah.
Amazing. I just wanted to throw that out there. Second down, Ramsey throws to Zay in the middle, who falls, and the pass is dropped. Third down on 4 rush, Ramsey rolls right, throws to the receiver, who runs for a decent gain, picking up the first down. Ramsey, next play on 4 rush, throws deep to Naheem. The pass is tipped by Jigga, caught by Naheem in the end zone for the touchdown. Naheem gets the extra point, 7-0, Shockers right away.
And right here, I think they just got lucky on this play right here. I think that they kind of lucked out on this play because Jigga is a great is a good defender on their team.
A physical defender.
Yes,
he's not known
a cover
for
person.
Yes, he's not known for getting interceptions.
Regardless of what, he puts a hand on. Naheem is still able to keep his focus and get the ball anywhere and run into the end zone. That's the way to stick with the play, not worry about what the defense is doing. You follow the ball, and he's still able to make the play to get the touchdown.
Next play, Creep gets to start. Remember, Dion is there, but he's not playing. He got a big game in City Island and in BQFL on Sunday, so he's not going to play this game. Creep hands the ball up to Joel with blockers, runs for a decent game, picking up the first down. This is the big pickup that they made. They went and got Joel. Didn't make all these awesome pickups. They liked the team that they had, so they picked up Creep as a backup quarterback, and they picked up Joel with a nice run here. I like this pickup. Joel's a guy who can run the ball. Super Friends like to run the ball, and rather than run the ball with Mace, you got a cut back running back in Joel, who makes a great play here. Creep with a screen to Joel again for a decent game. Then Creep runs on 4 rush for a decent game, getting them in the red zone. Third down, Creep going to throw the draw in the middle. Is going to be picked off by Naheem, giving the ball back to the Shockers. And the Shockers showing defense as they pick off Creep on this play.
And right here, I don't even think that Creep saw him in this pass. Raheem was right here, he kept focused on the offensive play. He's showing that he can do it on defense here. Joel was there ready to get the play, and Naheem just came and took the ball. Creep got to pay more attention and find out where the defense is.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if not, he's going to throw more interceptions like this.
Ramsey's going to get blitzed and sacked by Joel. Second down, Ramsey on 4 rush, throws to Welch in the middle. It's going to be almost picked off by Kenny. Third down, Ramsey's going to throw to Amir on the sideline. He's going to fall incomplete. Shockers is going to have to punt. So that drive doesn't hurt. Super Friends, they threw a pick, but they're able to make the stop, give the ball back, and give Creep another shot. Next play, Joel gets a few runs for a nice gain. Third down, Creep throws short to Joel for a decent gain. Last down, on 4 rush, Amir's going to get a sack. Turn over the ball on downs. The question was it one hand? And yes, it was. That was my call.
No debate.
I blew that call completely. That was a terrible call. I should be ashamed. That should be Bonehead University. That's one of the worst calls in UFL. Creep is a runner.
Yeah.
Amir's one of the slowest ball givers in the league. He runs like a statue. And I anticipated the tag, which wasn't. I apologize. Terrible call by me. And it's going to cause a turnover.
And the thing is, everybody knew it too. And the funny thing that I'm laughing about is Amir's trying to play it off. Nah, it's 2 hands. Y'all know it's 2 hands. You see it right here. There's no way that that's 2 hands. It looked like he was going to grab him, knowing that Creep was going to get past him. Doesn't matter. They luck out and get the call. And
unfortunately, I think that you put that on the not top 5.
Yes.
On a ref. I will be the first.
The ref
on a not top 5. That's one of the worst calls. Don't get me wrong, it was snowing, so you assume, but it's still, you got to look at the players, and there's no way Amir can catch Creep. Terrible call by me. Please, I mean, that's going to be a not top 5 if I know goes. Ramsey's going to get the ball back. Throws deep to Naheem. Guarded by Joel. Incomplete. Second down on 4 rush. Ramsey throws deep to Zayd. Tipped by Jigga. Caught by Zayd, who's going to run it in for the touchdown. 13-0. Another play on Jigga, which I told you is not a pick-off corner. He gets the tip. Zayd makes a catch. 13-0. Shockers are up on the Super Friends.
And up on tips.
Yep.
You know, so Jigga got to do something because he's getting there, but he's not able to finish with the play. So something is wrong with that. He needs to learn how to break to the ball a little bit better. I've seen him make a couple of plays here and there, but he's not known for breaking to the ball.
He's more to be physical guy.
So he got to learn to break to the ball because they're throwing it at him.
They're going after him.
And he's not necessarily able to make the play, and they're anticipating that right now.
Second down on 4 rush. Creep is going to run for a decent gain. Third down, he's going to throw to D. White in the gap, picking up the nice gain in the first down. After a few yards, he's going to find Joel in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, it's 13-6. The defense was looking at Creep because his ability to run, you got to give help. And because of that, Creep is able to find Joel in the back of the end zone. 13-6, great play by Creep.
And right here, he catches all of the defenders in the middle staring. And Joel is waiting right there, getting the touchdown pass. They got to react. They can't always look at the quarterback. And if you're going to have one person spy on the quarterback, you can't have 3. So that has to be communicated through the defense. You can have one person spying on the quarterback, but not too much to make it obvious, because the quarterback is going to see that and take advantage. That's what Creep does here, and they have another touchdown.
On the kickoff, Ramsey's going to drop it. Kenny almost recovers it, but the Shockers get it back. Ramsey on first down throws deep to Welch, picked off by D. White, giving the ball back to Super Friends. And this is what I talk about with Ramsey. Brett Favre. Why on first down you throwing deep? You're up by a score. The clock is running down. Ramsey think he could make any throw, and it hurts him here, and he's going to get picked off, giving the ball right back to Super Friends.
Listen, everybody knows the saying, when you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Correct.
And that's exactly what it is. Ramsey lives by the deep pass, and he dies by the deep pass, because oftentimes than not, he throws interceptions like this. So he needs to watch out, because this can cause you games, especially when you're in the lead right now.
Super Friends get the ball back. After a few short plays, last play before the half, at the 20-yard line, Creep is going to throw a laser and find D. White in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 13-12, taking us into the half. Great throw by Creep.
And they were able to do it right before the half. They were able to time manage. They were in the right position to score. That's the way to capitalize on the turnover, on the interception that they just got. And Dwight catching the interception. Now he contributes, making a touchdown play. He's caught the touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm bugging. He contributes, making an interception, and now he shows on offense that he's able to make a play. Creep finds him in the end zone. That's the way to capitalize on Shockers' mistake.
Well, if I'm the Shockers, I had the ball 1, I had the ball 2, I had the ball 3, I had the ball 4 times. I scored twice. I'll take it. Other than the terrible interception that Ramsey threw on first down, we're good. Our defense let them back in the game, but you got to put some of that on Ramsey, because after your defense makes a stop, you can't throw a pick right back. You know, after your defense gets up a score, you got to bail them out, because they helped you. And that is a terrible play by Ramsey, throwing that interception, helping Super Friends climb back in the game. That's Ramsey's problem. That's what makes him a good quarterback and not great quarterback, because he attempts to make throws that he shouldn't take the risk on. 13-12 against the champs. I'm up, but I got to play smarter, but I'll take it.
And the Super Friends, I'm not going to say that they did much wrong. It was those 2 touchdown passes that was thrown that was tipped by Jigga. So they are attacking Jigga. Jigga has to find a way to finish on those plays, because if not, that's what leads to scoring scores. That's exactly what happened in this game.
On the kickoff, they're going to pass the first down, so they're going to go 4 and out. Creep is going to have 2 decent passes. On third down, he's going to throw a pass in the middle to Joel, who's going to run down the sideline all the way for the touchdown, giving them the lead. AB's going to get the extra point, 19-13. If you look here, Joel slips past 2 defenders, and Creep is able to find him, giving them the lead, 1913.
And the thing about Joel that makes him such an effective player is that he's very elusive. The defense loses track of him on the field. He's not the tallest guy on the field, obviously, but he's very fast and he's very like that's the word that you got to pin on Joel whenever he plays. Elusive, because that's exactly what he is. The defense loses him here, and he's able to find the gaps. Creep is able to connect with him for this touchdown. Joel contributed in the first game, and he's playing with his team.
Ramsey's going to get the ball back. Right now they're down 19-13. Ramsey with a pass to me on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first. Ramsey's going to throw the receiver open downfield. That's going to be dropped. Third down, Ramsey on 4 rush, throws deep to Welch. Covered by Jigga, incomplete. Shockers have to punt. Now you're testing your luck.
Yeah.
Jigga may not be able to be a great guy to pick the ball off, but he can cover.
Yeah.
He covers, great coverage here. It's going to be incomplete. I think Ramsey knew he threw 2 touchdown passes against him. It's third down. He's going to say, I'm going to take a shot against him again. Jigga, great coverage on Welch. Welch is a good receiver. Jigga plays great coverage, incomplete pass. Shockers have to punt. Second down, Creep with a fake handoff and runs for a decent game. Last down, Creep on 4 rush, throws deep to AB on the sideline for a big game for the first down. And like we said before, AB, Mr. Always Ball, and makes a great play here. He gets caught up in the guys, the Kenny, the B-Roy, the Prince Mo, Mays, Alex. He gets caught up in that, but he can make plays too. Great play here to pick up the first down. Creep on 4 rush runs for a nice game. Next play, Creep runs for a few more yards, getting them near the 5-yard line. Third down, Creep finds Joel in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Another touchdown catch by Joel. AB gets a 2-point conversion, 27-13. Now Super Friends is running away with it.
And I think Creep is liking Joel in this game because he keeps going to him. He's catching him in the gaps. He's handing him the ball to run, and he's also finding him in the end zone. This is a connection that maybe they can show Dion that Joel is a person to go after in the same exact way, because Creep is connecting with Joel from the beginning of the game to the end, and I think that's the main reason why they have the lead right now.
Ramsey's going to throw a pass in the gap. It's going to be off target, incomplete. Second down, Ramsey throws to Naheem on the sideline. That one is going to drop. Third down, Ramsey throws to Naheem again on the sideline. Low, incomplete. Last down, Ramsey throws to Mir in the middle for the first down. Off target, incomplete. End of the game, 27-13. Super Friends come away with the win. If I'm Super Friends, first of all, I love the way Tone makes these additions. They were supposed to get Bo. Bo goes to play with the Wolverines. So who he picks up? Joel. Joel do similar things that Bo does. He's more elusive than Bo. Bo has more speed, but Joel's more elusive. You put an elusive running back with a team full of giants, and you're going to have exactly what Joel did today. And I love the play of Creep. Show what he could do. He's faster than Dion. I think his arm is a little stronger than Dion's. Dion is way more accurate, better at reading the field. He's a better quarterback, but this is a good backup. Now, if I'm Kenny, because people talked about trades, whatever.
Yeah.
Creep is not going to be your quarterback this season. City Island is over. BQFL, they're in the championship, so that'll be over. So you're not going to have Dion throwing so much. I'm going to offer, somebody wants to make a trade. I would trade Creep. Obviously, they might not be a player you want, but I'll put a cash consideration. I would take $100 maybe to pay my league fee. And listen, all you're doing is you're doing that for a league fee.
So now we're doing cash deals for
I would do it.
now.
You're trying to tell me if I'm the Browns.
Oh, so you're singling out the Browns here.
The Browns need a quarterback.
Okay.
And before you talk about shockers, the Browns need a quarterback. Bottom line. Creep is not going to play with Super Friends. He's going to be their backup quarterback. Creep needs more reps. Creep is supposed to play a riot squad. Who is cool with Creep? Pig. Pig hasn't signed with nobody. If I'm Jingo, I'm signing Pig who can help me out. And I'm getting Pig to help me lure Creep to this team. Now, week 3, the rosters is locked, so Creep can leave on his own. But if he don't want to be disrespectful to his team, Creep and Jingo can talk, and I would pay $100 on their league fee to pick up Creep. Why not? We'll be the only league that did that. But it doesn't have to be player for player. It could be cash. Now, it won't be cash straight up. It'll be cash that goes to the league fee. You know what I mean? Why not do it? You wouldn't do that if you was
I mean, if I had no other option, then yes, I want to win, and I'm not gonna.
And I'll speculate. Listen, I'll pay it at the end of the season if Creep plays.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay it up front and he don't show up to games.
Yeah.
But if he completes the season, I'll pay $100 a year league fee. Why not?
Listen, if it's to benefit them, and if it's
it's gonna benefit. They're not going to use Creep. Dion was there but did not throw.
Yeah.
Dion will be throwing with them. Why wouldn't I make some cash advancement for Creep to be on my team? Creep can help the Browns.
I'm not disputing anything about Super Friends' decision if they make
He
one.
can also help the Dutchman who needs a quarterback because they wasn't happy with Sunshine. But the Browns have weapons.
Yeah.
If I'm Jingo, I'm making a call to Tone.
It's up to those teams.
It's up to those. I'm sorry, Kenny.
Yes, it's up to those teams to make that decision for themselves because if they know what they need, so they're gonna go out and get what they need. So
now you could talk about shockers.
In terms of the shockers, there's only 2 things that I gotta mention: drop passes. Well, 3 things: drop passes, losing their balance, and Ramsey being Ramsey. Those are the main 3 things that caused them to this game. Guys got to stay. Yes, the weather was bad, but I've been seeing guys falling and not catching passes. That kills your offense, and that's what makes a quarterback take risks. And Ramsey, the problem with that is, yes, that normally makes a quarterback take risks, but Ramsey's normally a risk taker anyway. So I don't think that would have made a difference. Ramsey, this is how Ramsey plays.
Yep.
So moving throughout the season, if he doesn't change the way he plays, at least lessen the risk that he takes, this is going to kill him throughout the season. So that's something that he has to understand moving forward. Other than that, that's all I can say because these are the main things that caused him the loss in this game.
We're going to end that. Super Friends, the defending champs, start out the championship thing, 27-13. Super Friends, Browns. Make that happen. You need a quarterback? Super Friends got one for you. Let's see what happens. We're going to wrap this one up. We'll be right back. 27-13, Super Friends over Shockers. We'll be back. Next game up, Spartans versus Violators. Violators, known team. Yomi's starting this year, though. He's their starting quarterback, not Lou. And they have some good pieces, this Violators team. I like the Violators. I think it's time that they step it up. Last time they was in a chip, they were 3 teams combined when they were MVR.
Yeah.
It's time for them to step up and sit back at the head of the table and make plays. I think this is the year they do it. They got their coach ready to go. This year, he made some great pickups, and we're going to have to see where that leads them.
And Spartans, this is their first year in the league. This is their first year in the league, you know.
Dave threw here last year, though.
Yeah, Dave did throw.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yes.
With the Reloaded.
Dave did throw 2 years ago with Reloaded. I don't think that was the best situation.
He didn't really know them, yeah.
You know, so he didn't necessarily know those guys, but this is his team coming in, so they should already have the chemistry going. Obviously, the weather's not the best for any quarterback out there. So I'm not expecting him to throw lights out. I don't expect no quarterback to throw lights out.
And they're missing half their team.
Yes,
Spartans.
but at the end of the day, you still want them to come and compete and represent their brand, their team. So hopefully that's exactly what they do, because I know that they didn't come all the way out here from Brooklyn just to, you know, play mediocre.
And you got to give them time. They're going to be okay. You just got to give them time. And we're going to have to see what happens. Spartans get the ball. Dave's going to throw to the receiver. And we don't know everybody's names. We'll get everybody's names during the season. But we're going to just go with this. Dave's going to throw the receiver in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down. Second down, Dave on 4 rush is sacked by Ralph. Next play, Dave is going to throw in the gap. That one is going to be dropped. Third down, Dave throws the receiver in the middle, picked off by Josh, giving the ball to Violators. Great play by Josh, getting the ball for his team. Great play.
And already you see drop passes on the Spartan side. This is something that's going to kill your drive and make the quarterback less confident, and that's what ends up throwing his that's how he ends up throwing this interception here, because the quarterback, as always, tries to make something happen and throws a bad pass or throws a play where the defense can make a play. Josh makes a play, they get the interception.
Yomi's going to get the ball. 2 passes to Baby for a decent game. I'm not comfortable calling another man Baby. Third down, Yomi throws deep to no more cutting on the sideline. Broken up. Violators have to punt. That's a pathetic drive. I know the weather's bad, but you got to be able to do something other than just throw those 2 passes and get stopped. They got to make better plays than that. Spartans get the ball back. Dave with a short pass to the receiver for a few yards. Second down, Dave's gonna throw the pass. It's in the middle. It's gonna be dropped, picked off by Mimi, giving it back to the Violators. You can't drop the ball. you're killing them. On the first 2 drives, you got 3 drops. I know the weather's snowing, but if we're football players, we got to make football plays and help our quarterback. And these drops are killing them, giving the ball back to Violators.
And right now, we don't got certain guys' names right now. We're gonna fix that moving through the season. But right now, the way they're playing, they don't deserve names out there because they're playing like no names right now. They're dropping passes. They're making Dave's job harder right now. They're supposed to be a team that, even though they don't have their full team, they're not in sync with their quarterback.
Yeah.
It's still their quarterback.
Correct.
And they're not in sync. They're dropping easy passes they know they should make, and that is why they're struggling right now.
Yomi with 2 short passes to get the first down. Second down, Yomi on 4 rush, runs to the sideline. We're blocking from Baby, runs all the way to the 15-yard line. Remember, Yomi has wheels. Plays tight end. So he makes a play here. Last down, Yomi finds Robin in front of the end zone for the touchdown. Bito gets the extra point. 7-0 Violators take the lead.
And the Violators finally capitalize. They take the lead here. Under a few plays, Yomi's able to drive and score. That's the way to capitalize. Because obviously Spartans are not on the same page. They're not moving the offense right now. So that is the way that you get ahead with your offense. Yomi's trying to show that he is a quarterback that can get this Violators team to a championship. He won a championship with them before, but he wasn't the quarterback throughout the season. He's trying to show that he's going to be the quarterback from beginning to the end and take them where they need to go. That's the way to start off with that drive.
Next play, Dave's going to throw the receiver on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first down. Dave's going to throw a nice pass to Brian, picking up a decent gain. On 4 rush, Dave throws to Brian on the sideline, off target, incomplete. Next play, Dave's going to throw a quick pass for a decent gain. Last down, Dave throws the receiver in the front of the end zone, right through his hands, incomplete, turnover on downs. You have to catch the ball. You putting too much pressure on Dave. He is a championship quarterback. The man can make plays, but he can't catch the ball for you. Yeah. We know the weather's not great, but that's not an excuse. You're a football player, gotta make plays, turnover on downs.
And this is gonna, if this continues, then there's no reason to even finish this game because, like I said, these guys are playing like no names. We don't know their name because I don't know nobody who can't catch passes like this. So until they start catching passes and moving the ball, this is gonna be the same thing over and over and over again, and that's pretty much how the game is gonna end for them.
Second down, Yomi throws to Baby on the sideline throws the Baby for a short gain. Third down on 4 rush, Yomi gets the ball off to Baby for a decent gain. Last down, Yomi throws it no more on the sideline, drop, turnover and downs. Spartan gets the ball back, but they're not able to score before the half. 7-0 going into half. If I'm the Spartans, I take a 7-0. I'm down 7-0. I'll take it. Half my guys are not here. They're missing Asa. They're missing Happy Feet. They're missing JJ. They're missing half 13. I will take this, but it's too many drops. I'm not gonna take that. The first half, it's only 7-0, but we're right in striking distance if we can hold on to the football. Dave's frustrated. This is his team. It's not reloaded, so he's going to let his guys know they got to make plays in the second half.
And the Violators, I'm not going to, they're playing effective defense. I'm not going to say that they're the best defense because the Spartans are just struggling on offense right now. They're still doing their job on defense, but one thing I want to see more is their offense click more. Yes, they were able to score on one drive in this game, but I don't think that that's enough to prove that your offense is something that other teams need to worry about. So they need to start driving a little bit quicker. They need to, connect a little bit better and put up more points. At least 14 or 13 and a half, 2 touchdowns in a half will be satisfactory for people to take your offense seriously. That's something they need to do moving forward.
Second half, Yomi gets the ball for Violators. On 4 rush, he's going to be sacked by Troy. Second down, on 4 rush, he's going to slip Troy again with another sack. Third down, Yomi throws the receiver in the gap, drop, Violators have to punt. That's a great stop by the Spartans. Troy showing what he can do defensively, making stops. First down, on 4 rush, Dave's going to throw the receiver on the sideline. He's going to fall, picked off by Dev, giving the ball back to Violators. Dev is a 6-foot defender. He can play coverage, gets a big interception here. The receiver falls, but Dev is aware enough to get the ball, picks off, give it up back to Violators. Great play by Dev.
And here we go again. Not only are they dropping passes, but now they're falling and losing balance. This is not a formula for winning for any team. So until I'm gonna keep saying, until that offense gets their gears going, this is all she wrote for them.
Second down, Yomi on 4 rush, throws deep to Mimi in the end zone, overthrown. Third down, Yomi's blitzed by Noel and throws into the gap, incomplete. The question was this a sack?
And right here, this was a very close sack. I think that Yomi got the ball off before the ball
Just got it off, right?
I think he just got it off before he was tagged. You know, that's a call. That's a hard call to make. That's almost like a bang call.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the refs did not throw they did not kill the play because they believed that he got the ball off. It looks like he did get the ball off.
And Noel is the guy that's going to be the one that Spartans have to really lean on. I like Noel. Great player, can play both ways. He's going to be the guy that they have to really lean on. That's down. Yomi on 4 rush, blocking from Speedy, throws a Dev open in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. 13-0. Violators take a commanding lead now.
And the thing that's crazy about this play is, you know, Troy is one of the shortest guys on the field whenever he plays, but he's one person that plays like a taller player. He has all the heart in the world, and he's not going to back down from anybody. And he shows it here with him coming against a guy like almost 3 times his size and Speedy, but he's able to get around him.
Right.
He does the swimming moves. He knocks his hands back. He's able to get by, but by then, Yomi has a target and Dev on the corner of the end zone. The cornerback leaves the corner. If you didn't leave the corner on the last down, in the very last second, I think Troy would have been able to make a play. But because the corner leaves the corner, that leaves Dev wide open. That's unfortunate because Troy put in work and they still couldn't stop him.
And if you look here, this is Speedy blocking.
Yes.
Former of really Riot Squad, made the All-Star team as a blocker.
Yes.
And if you look here, that's the same face, but in the new place. He leaves Riot. Riot doesn't come back. He goes to the Violators, and this is why the Violators picked him up.
Yeah.
Great play by him. Next drive, Dave gets blitzed and throws it to the receiver, low, incomplete. Second down, Dave throws a Troy on the sideline. Short game, but he picks up the first down. Dave's going to throw the receiver wide open in the middle. He falls incomplete. Dave's going to throw the receiver again in the gap. Picks up a nice game. Third down, Dave throws deep to Troy on the sideline, but it's going to be almost picked off by Rob. Last down, Dave on 4 rush throws deep to his receiver. It's going to be picked off by Buto. Great play by him. That's another guy. Same face. New place. Yes. Played with Main Event last year. Main Event is not here. He goes to Violators. He announced it in the offseason he's going to Violators, and he makes an interception. Great play by him. And
that is the way that you contribute to the new team that you're playing for. Buto was known as a great defender on that Main Event team. He's bringing his talents to the Violators. That's an extra player that the Violators can use because the Violators already had an effective defense. And that's an extra player that can make a play for your defense. This defense is looking to be a defense that's going to give a lot of offenses some trouble, and they're showing that here, giving the Spartans a very hard time. Yomi gets the ball back on 4 rush. He's blitzed and sacked by Noel. Violators going to end up punting. Next drive, Dave gets the ball. He's going to throw the receiver in the gap, picking up a decent game, but the clock is running. Dave throws deep to the receiver who runs, makes a catch for a big game, picking up the first down. Dave is going to come back. That play and throws in the gap, that is going to be dropped. Third down, Dave throws to Brian in the middle, high and incomplete. Last down, Dave throws the receiver in the corner of the end zone, knocked away by Rob, ending the game 13-0. Violators with the win. If I'm Dave and the Spartans, first of all, half my team was missing. I lost this game 13-0. I'll take that. Too many drops. Let me explain something to you. The weather wasn't great, but the weather wasn't great for nobody today. The ground was slippery, but the ground was slippery for everybody. You have to find a way to catch the ball. That is the bottom line. They only gave up 13 points. I will take that. Usually in the UFL, because of the size of the field, that is the average of the teams. 2 touchdowns. I'll take that. You have to make plays, and they got to help Dave out. This is a good beginning. They missed half their team. Violators are a good team. We lost 13-0. If I'm Dave, I'm going to steer the ship. JJ and his guys wasn't here because they had a game in LES. I'm okay. I'm not panicking. First game. And for the Violators, same thing. First game. I like their defense in this game. I'm not going to give them too much credit because the Spartans were struggling all game with their offense, but the defense did their job. And I think that that's enough in this game. You know, hopefully we get to see more when they get challenged more by other offenses. But I think that their offense is, they're I'm not going to say mediocre, but they're not necessarily nothing to write home about right now. They get the job done in this game, but I would like to see a little bit more moving forward with this Violators team. I know they have a lot of talent on their offense, but they got to show it more when they get when they face another team in the coming weeks. So if they're able to do that, they're a team to watch this year. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. Violators come away with the win, 13-0. We're going to be right back on Real Tough Talk.
Next game up, YMM versus FOE. FOE is a new team coming in league. They played a few years back, but they kind of dropped out. They didn't have a full squad. I like FOE. I think they got a lot of weapons. I think they're going to be a good team. They're in the East, so they can make noise. I like this team. I think they're going to really do a good job. And they face YMM. We already know the role YMM is on, winning a lot of games this season, winning a lot of chips.
Yeah.
So you got to take your hats off to that team. They're doing what they got to do. And in the UFL, that's the next league they're worrying about. They want to take a chip. Corey won't start this game because he has City Island. So Santana gets to start.
I'm just going to say, not to cut you off, but there's a lot of players standing in for their normal quarterback playing in this game, in these games. I'm not going to mention all the guys because we went through all the games, but Santana's yet another person that's stepping in as a quarterback. Maybe he will see something surprising in this game because they still got all the talent in the world on this team. So we're ready to see a game regardless of who's throwing for them.
We're going to jump into it. Dave, on second down, gets blitzed by Josh and throws the bop incomplete. Next play, Dave throws to Ja in the middle for a decent game. Last down, Dave throws to Ja in the front of the end zone, knocked away by Josh. Turnover on downs, giving the ball back to YMM. YMM gets the ball back. Santana gets to start. Santana's going to throw to Ruben on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Good throw by Santana. But on the next play, he's going to throw to Brandon on the sideline, and it's going to be picked off by Twan. Giving the ball back to FOE. What happened on this play?
I think we just spoke too soon when it came to Santana. He made a throw or two, whatever, in this drive.
On the sideline,
to Ruben, and then we spoke too soon because right afterwards he throws it to the other team. So he's throwing the ball to people. It's just that one he threw to the other team. I think Swan was there at the right place at the right time. Good way to stay away and make a play to get your offense back on the field.
Dave's going to get the ball back on first. He's going to throw the bop in the middle for a decent game. After a short pass, picking up the first down, Dave on 4 rush throws to Raj in the middle, picking up for a decent gain. Next drive, next down, Dave's going to throw to Fred in the middle. The ball's going to be knocked away by Bones. 4th down, 4th and long. Dave throws to John in the middle. Almost picked off by Bones. Turnover on down. Wyman with the big stop, 2 in a row. Santana gets the ball back. First down, Santana throws to Jeremy in the gap. That one's dropped. You don't usually see Jeremy dropping passes, but he drops one here. Next play, Santana is blitzed by Dutch. Throws to Bishop in the middle, who runs for a decent gain in the pickup, first down. Now this is Bishop. Same face, new place. Bishop, I don't think he's an MVP candidate anymore. But he can make some plays. He's coming from Brotherhood team. He was one of the only players that made the All-Star team from that team. And he's a good guy that can make some plays. He said this might be his last season. He wants to go out with a chip. Santana on 4 rush throws the Bones open in the middle for a nice gain. Then Santana comes back to Bishop on the sideline to get him to the 10-yard line. Third down, Santana finds Jeremy in the opposite sideline, who runs in for the touchdown. Josh gets the extra point. Jesse gets the extra point. I'm not calling him what they call him. Alright, I'll call him what they call him. Gaga gets the extra point. 7-0, but let's talk about the steal from Santana to Jeremy. Great throw by Santana. Showing maybe he's another quarterback on this team.
Listen, and like I've been saying all day, there's been a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of guys that have been standing in as quarterback and doing a pretty good job. So, listen, Santana's another guy that, hey, if Corey's not here, he may be able to take over to him. He made one mistake, but I don't think this is a fluke. I think that he's playing well. I think that he's reading the field. He's able to connect with his receivers. And you see Bishop having 2 plays. The guys were saying on the field, that was all Bishop. Bishop helped him drive down the field. So he's a piece of their offense that's helping him move the ball right now.
Dave gets the ball back for FOE. With blocking from Dutch, he's going to throw to Fred, but the pass is knocked away by Bishop. The pass kind of hung up too long, but Bishop making a great play defensively. Second down, Dave throws to Roger in the middle for a decent game, picking up the first down. Dave with blocking from Milt throws to Roger in the middle for a few yards, but if you look here, Dave stepped over the line before the throw. That's going to be a loss of down. Last down, Dave throws deep to Twan in the end zone, overthrown, turnover on downs, giving it back to YMM. YMM's right up 7-0, and I think it's him stepping over the line that kind of hurt them on his
Yes, because I think that they were finally able to start moving the ball, but then on that play, he was getting, rushed. Even though Milt was protecting him, he had to move forward, and I think that he stepped over the line, and that's unfortunate. I think that was a drive killer there.
After 2 short passes, Santana on 3rd down is blitzed by Dutch. Throws it to Ruben wide open on the sideline, who runs for a big gain in the first down. If you look here, Ja was left guarding nobody. And this is a great play by Santana to be able to read the field and find Ruben after Dutch was blitzed. That's a great play by Santana. He may be the third string because you know Jeremy's usually the backup.
Yeah.
Great play by Santana showing he may be giving Jeremy a run for his money at backup.
And well, Ja gotta be able to find the receivers and pay attention. It looks like he was watching Santana a little bit too much, and that is why the receiver was able to find a gap past Ja and able to get that pass through. And again, if he was able to pay attention and follow receiver, maybe this would have been a different play, but unfortunately, YMM was able to get through with that one.
Santana on 4 rush, throws deep to Bones, overthrown, picked off by Rogers, giving the ball back to FOE. Rogers a former YMM player.
Yes.
I've always been a Roger fan of this team, and he shows his ability to make plays. You know, I have to feel good him picking off his old team and giving it back to his new team.
And this is one thing that you're going to see on FOE. Their defense is actually playing decent. Not necessarily the best because Santana's still able to get some throws out there. They got to find ways to lock up a little bit better. But other than that, they're able to make a defensive play here and get their offense back on the field.
Dave gets the ball back, and when blocking from Milt, he's going to throw to Twan wide open in the sideline, who runs it all the way in the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Brandon gets caught looking. Bob gets an extra point, 7-7, and great blocking by Milt. Milt didn't play last season, but the last team he played for the year before was YMM. He played terrible. He came back. That's the same face, new place.
Yes.
And he is showing that he's back to the Milt, that one blocker of the year in the first year that the war was created. Great blocking by Milt. This is why they got him. Great blocking, give Dave time.
And when you give a quarterback that much protection, he's confident to make that throw, and that's exactly what happened. Dave didn't necessarily have this throughout the game. Even though Milt was blocking in certain plays, Dave still had to move out the pocket somewhat. Here, he could stay still, stay stationary. Milt protects him, and he's able to connect with his receiver.
Santana with 2 passes for a decent game while the clock is running. Santana then gets blocking from Kaka. Finds Brandon cutting in the end zone for the touchdown. Brandon's going to get the 2-point conversion, taking us into the halftime, 15-7. What I like about this play, I used to call Brandon Deshaun Jackson, but he's not Deshaun Jackson. I got to know, he's Steve Smith. He's physical. He talks a lot of trash. He's short, but he will block and do whatever. That's why I'm not calling him Deshaun Jackson no more. He's more of a Steve Smith. Physical, has some breakaway capability, but he talks trash and he's physical. So he's Steve Smith, but he makes a play here. Great throw by Santana, 15-7. YMM.
And the thing about it is not only that, you have everybody contributing. Kaka made a play on defense before, and now he makes a big block on offense.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is when your team comes together, they come together. And YMM is a team that all comes together. They've been doing it all year in other leagues. They're trying to bring that vibe to the UFL, and it's showing right now with Santana even throwing. They're still able to connect and play well together. And this is a great way to end the half. I'm
not mad at if I'm FOE. It's my first year. I'm my first year, but you know, my first time really playing. Dave is a really good quarterback, and your best player Herbie's there, but he's not playing.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. You know what I mean? Bob, great player. Roger, we already know what Roger could do.
Yeah.
And like I said, Herbie's not playing. Jamal is not here, their coach. This team is going to be okay. So right now, we're down 15-7, but I like where we're at. I like the things we're doing. We'll be okay. Second half, after a short pass, picking up the first down, Santana on second down runs on 4 rush, gets past Bob, slips by another one, hands the ball off to Ruben, who runs all the way in the end zone for the touchdown. Stretch gets the extra point, 22-7 was Santana tag.
And this one is very close. We have to really slow this one down. As you see, Santana, gets past Bob. Bob dives to make the play. He misses him. That's a clear miss.
Clear miss.
But then you see the next player come. He goes to, go for the tag. If you look here, I'm trying to slow it down the best I can. If you look, it looks like he gets one hand on him.
Right.
But it's not clear if he gets the other
right
on him. The ref did not see both hands get on him. As you see here in this angle, we can't see it here. It looks like he slips with one hand, and that is why the ref did not call the play there. Santana's able to continue to play and run, and he's able to pass it to Ruben, and we all know what happened after that.
I think that should be a top 5 nominee.
Yes.
That is a great play. I love that play. That's a great play by them. 22-7, YMM takes a commanding lead. Next drive, Dave with a short pass to Rogers for a few yards. Dave gets blitzed by Brandon, throws a bop on the sideline. Decent game, picking up the first. Dave on 4 rush, throws to John in the gap. That one is going to be dropped. Second down, Dave throws a Raj in the middle for a decent game. Yeah, for a decent game. Third down, Dave gets blitzed by Josh and sacked by Stretch. I like Stretch as ball giver. He got height, but he has reach. Great sack by Stretch. Last down, Dave throws it up. Fred gets a hand on it, but it's broken up with contact from Jeremy. Turnover on downs. And this is what this man Jeremy does. He's one of the most physical players in this game. And if you're not on his team, watch out, because this is what can happen.
And I'm not gonna say that this was the hardest hit here, but he puts his body in there and breaks up the play. This is what Jeremy does. Not only is he a cover person that can read the quarterback and break to the ball, but he's a person that gets physical in the middle or in the cornerbacks and the safety. Wherever he's put, he's gonna be that physical player that you gotta look out for, and that's a great defensive play here.
First down, Santana throws to Ruben in the gap for a decent game. Dutch is flagged for unnecessary roughness. I think that's a good call. Penalty on the play. Next down, Santana throws the Stretch on the sideline. The ball is tipped by Stretch, picked off by Fred, giving the ball back to FOE. Stretch lost his balance. Fred with the good pickoff, giving it back to his offense.
And this is something that you can't afford to have. Guys, losing balance and not catching the ball. Stretch is known for dropping passes here, but here you can see that he lost his balance.
He just fell, yeah.
So I don't think that you have much of a choice but to to just deal with it, because they've been playing well. Stretch was able to make a defensive play, but unfortunately he falls for this pass.
Second down, we're blocking from Milt. Dave throws to Josh in the gap. John in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first. Next play, Dave is blitzed by Josh, throws to Raj in the gap, picking up a few yards. Next pass, Dave throws deep to Ja, cutting in the end zone. That one is overthrown. Third down, Dave on 4 rush throws a Raj in the end zone. It's high but incomplete. Third down, Dave on 4 rush throws a Raj in the corner end zone. Roger catches it, but it's out of bounds. Turnover on down. Great blocking by Milt, but Santana almost gets past him. My problem is Dave is not accurate on this drive, missing a lot of throws, and that's what hurt them this drive.
And it's just this is not their day right now. Guys are falling, guys are dropping passes, and now you see Dave not being accurate now. When you have all of these things happen all at once, that is not a formula for a win. Hopefully that they can recover soon, because right now it's not looking good for them.
Second down, Jeremy throws the Bones. Bone is going to be off target, picked off by Fred. Fred tries to pitch it, recovered by Bishop, who runs a nice gain, giving it back to him. This is a not top 5.
Yes.
Because Fred makes the pick, but then attempts to pitch it and pitches it right to Bishop, giving it back to YMM. What the heck is going on?
But regardless of what, I don't know what was going through Fred's mind, but I got to give Good Bishop some credit. Way to be aware. Way to be right where you need to be. Way to recover that ball, knowing that they're about to pitch. He anticipates it and he cuts it off, and then he's able to run for extra yardage. So this is a plus for them on the yardage on their offense. So pretty much the pick doesn't hurt them at all. They actually gained yardage from this play.
YMM 2 plays for a nice game, picking up the first down. If you look here, FOE doesn't look like they with it. They're losing it, then using the effort. They figure the game is over. YMM turnover on downs, just trying to kill a clock. Next drive, Dave throws a pass in the gap, picked off by Bones, and in the game, YMM with the win, 22-7 over FOE. If I'm FOE, I'm not worried about it. We saw we trying to get used to it. Our best player, UFL All-Star, UFL MVP runner-up, a UFL All-Star MVP, Herbie didn't play. So we're going to be okay. We're not worrying about it. We made a lot of mistakes, but I think we'll be okay.
And YMM, obviously, right now, they're probably one of the best teams in the city right now. And they're trying to show that play in the UFL. They don't have all their guys playing.
Yeah,
Rico was there,
but he didn't play
because they're conserving themselves for their important
in City Island.
Their championship games in City Island and whatnot. So they're conserving themselves. This is the first game.
Their quarterback didn't play. Corey didn't play.
But at the end of the day, they still found a way to make it happen. Santana came in and threw some great throws in this
Yep.
game. He was very accurate, very effective, and when he couldn't make those throws, he was able to run and get some yardage in with his feet. So he did everything that he needed to help his team come out with a win. Everybody else stepped up. You had guys blocking, you had guys catching passes here and there, and then making defensive plays. I got to give a shout out to Bishop. He comes in and he plays like he belonged on his team all along. So everything is looking good for this team, and it's scary to say that they played this well, knowing that a lot of the important guys are not in this team. So it's scary to think about how well they can play moving forward.
Well, we're going to wrap up the show. Hopefully you liked it. YMM comes with a win 22-7. Thank y'all for being here with us. The show's going to get better games. A lot of people are going to play. A lot of people didn't play this weekend.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. We're happy to be back. Make sure you check out the top 5, not top 5. Hopefully Ghost get a chance to put that up.
Yes.
Dawn will be with us next week, making her debut on the show. And we're excited to be back, man. We're going to thank y'all for being here with us.
Subscribe to our YouTube
subscribe
page,
to the
please.
YouTube page, Real Tough Talk.
Yes.
On YouTube. That way, when the show is up, you'll get it right away. So on behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J. This is Ghost. We're going to be right back with y'all on the show next week. Much love. We out of here. See y'all. We're gone.
Why is so vinegar? What is